He had the talent, the composure, the future at one of the biggest clubs in the world. But one recording changed everything. It's a night game in Manchester. The lights are bright, the crowd is loud, and somewhere inside that stadium, there's a teenager who doesn't look nervous, not even a little. That's Mason Greenwood Young. Quiet, but deadly in front of goal. Because when the ball falls to him, he doesn't rush, he doesn't panic, he finishes. Left foot, right foot, it doesn't matter. That's what makes people notice him early. Not just the goals, but how easy he makes them look. At Manchester United, pressure is normal. History is heavy. Every young player carries expectations, but somehow he fits into it. Game by game, his confidence grows. He starts taking shots others wouldn't dare, from tight angles, from distance. Situations where most players hesitate, he acts, and somehow the ball keeps ending up in the net. Fans begin to talk, not just about potential, but about certainty. This one is different. This one is special. Because players like that, they don't come often. He becomes a regular name in the squad, not just a prospect anymore, but someone the team can depend on. Goals, big moments, calm finishes under pressure. And then comes something bigger, recognition. He gets called up to represent England. Another step, another sign that everything is going exactly how it should. From academy football to the biggest stage, outside the pitch, his life is changing too. Fame grows, followers increase, the spotlight gets brighter. Everything that comes with being a football star is now part of his world. But on the surface, everything looks controlled. No major headlines, no controversy, just football, just progress. And that's what makes it feel safe, like the path is clear, like nothing can go wrong. Then come the conversations, private, quiet, nothing public, nothing that raises alarms from the outside. Just messages, replies, back and forth. At first, it feels normal, but sometimes what looks normal on the outside isn't really normal at all. And sometimes what starts small doesn't stay small, because while the goals are still going in and the fans are still cheering, something else is building, something hidden, something that hasn't reached the surface yet. And when it finally does, it doesn't come slowly. It comes all at once. It happens suddenly. No warning, no build-up. Just a post, online. At first, people don't understand what they're seeing. Images appear, serious ones, concerning, chat photos that suggest something is wrong, something physical, something that shouldn't be happening. But still, there's confusion. Then comes the audio, and everything changes, because what people hear isn't just uncomfortable, it points to something serious, something that sounds like control, pressure, and allegations of abuse. And now, people start connecting everything. The images, the tone of the voice, the situation being described. It's no longer just speculation. It begins to look like a relationship where someone is being hurt physically and also being pressured in ways that suggest a lack of consent. That's what hits people the most, because it's not just what is seen, it's what is implied. And once that realization sets in, everything spreads. Fast. Faster than anything in football normally does. Because this isn't a goal. This isn't a highlight. This is something else entirely. People start listening. And once they hear it, they stop scrolling. They pause, they replay, trying to understand, trying to process. Because what they're hearing doesn't match the image they had. Not the young star, not the calm finisher, not the future of Manchester United. Within hours, it's everywhere. Social media, news outlets, group chats. Everyone is talking about the same thing. Fans who supported him now feel something different. Shock, confusion, disbelief. And the pressure builds immediately, not slowly, not over days, instantly. Manchester United responds fast. They suspend him, remove him from the squad, distance themselves. Sponsors follow. Brands that once worked with him begin stepping away. Because in situations like this, no one wants to be connected. Then the authorities step in. Police begin their investigation. Now it's no longer just public opinion. Now it's official. Charges are announced, serious ones. Allegations involving violence, control, and sexual assault. The kind that change everything. And at that point, football disappears. No matches, no training, no interviews, no public appearances. Just silence and questions. How did it get here? When did this start? Why didn't it stop? From the outside, it looks like everything collapsed overnight, but situations like this don't really start overnight. They build, quietly, privately, until something forces them into the open. And when it finally comes out, there's no control anymore. Everything is exposed, everything is judged, and the player at the center of it all is no longer seen the same way. Because once something like this becomes public, it doesn't go back. It only moves forward, toward consequences, toward decisions, toward an outcome that will define everything that comes next. Time passes, but not in the way it used to. There are no match days, no stadiums, no fans chanting his name. Instead, there are updates, legal developments, statements waiting. The case continues for months, then longer, and during that time, his career is frozen. Not ended, but not moving either. Then comes another shift. The case changes direction. Key witness steps back, new information appears. And suddenly the path to court isn't clear anymore. Prosecutors review everything and come to a decision. There's no longer a realistic chance of conviction. So the charges are dropped. Legally, that changes everything. Because now there's no active case, no trial ahead. But outside the legal system, things are different. Public opinion doesn't reset. It doesn't start fresh. It remembers. And football depends on more than just legal outcomes. It depends on image, trust, reputation. Manchester United now faces a decision, not about talent, not about ability, but about everything around it. And eventually, they make it clear. He won't return. Not to the team, not to that dressing room, not to that environment. So the path changes completely. He leaves. Not just the club, but the country. Moves elsewhere, a different league, a different setting, a place where the noise is quieter, where the pressure is different. A chance to keep playing, but not to rewind, because some things you don't go back from. And now his story sits in a different place. Not the rising star anymore, not the guaranteed future, but not completely finished either, just changed. A career that once looked simple, now complicated. A future that once looked clear, now uncertain. And when people hear his name today, they don't think of the goals first. They think of that moment, that recording, that turning point. Because in football, you can build everything right for years and still lose it in a single moment.